afternoon, everybody. So this will be the first video I do for YouTube. So what I do is basically general plumbing and heating, but it's all oil boilers that I do. Oh yeah, as you can see from the shower on my jacket. So I'm going to start and do a few videos and see how it goes. It's just going to be, I'm going to film what I can where I can, because obviously it's a bit difficult when you're in customers' houses and all that kind of stuff. But where I am today, this is an old farm building that we're ripping apart basically. Full heating system, combi boiler, bathroom, all that, hot and cold pipes and everything to run in there. I've been in already and I've exposed all the old pipes upstairs under the floor by pulling the boards up, and my next thing after I've had a cup of tea, I've just finished my lunch, is I'm going to go in and I'm going to start laying some new piping. I've rang the merchants up and I've got a load of radiators that I've ordered. I will collect what they've got in the morning with a view to hanging some of the rads upstairs tomorrow and getting them piped up, and then after tomorrow I've got other work I've got to go and do, so I'll just keep coming backwards and forwards to this job and trying to get as much done as I can when I can. So this is going to be a Worcester combi, external oil. Obviously I don't do gas. I work with a mate of mine who's a gas engineer, and you know, any gas work that comes my way I send it to him, and any oil work that comes his way send it to me, and any decent sized jobs that we do, we tend to just do them together. It just makes life fairly easy, although at the moment he's flat out busy, so am I, so I'm going to do this one on my own. So I'm 53, my name's Al. I sort of told you that at the beginning, didn't I? I started plumbing when I was 34. What I did, I went back to school. I applied for a place at college in Lincoln, because I live in North Lincolnshire, near a place called Market Raisin, so I'm not too far from Lincoln. So yeah, I went back to college 1 day a week on I think it's supposed to be a 3-year course. Back then, I don't know what it is now, NVQ level 2 I think it was. And the only proviso was you had to be working for a plumber for the other 4 days a week, so that was what I did. I finished the course and I worked for the guy for about 2.5 years, something like that, and then I went on my own and I was doing general plumbing for, I don't know, about 18 months, you know, the normal shit stuff, changing bath taps, sink taps, toilets, bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. And I eventually got a friend of mine who was another oil engineer. I used to go with him and I would plumb the boilers up for him, because he's I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying it, Steve has an affliction to plumbing. He doesn't like plumbing although what he doesn't know about oil boilers, Argers and Stanley cookers and all that sort of thing, it's not worth knowing. He's a really, really good lad. So when I eventually went and took my off-tech, I started putting boilers in myself, and Steve was a godsend to me, because he basically said to me, look, just crack on, Al, don't worry about it. When you come across a problem and you can't fix it, just ring me and I'll walk you through it. And he just said, I don't care how many times you ring me, mate, I'll help you, don't worry about it. And he did, to be fair to him, and he set me on the right track, and that's what I've been doing ever since. So like I say, I was 34 when I started, I'm 53 now. Do I know it all? No. Nobody does. I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing. I do a hell of a lot of boiler breakdown, service and repair, and replacing boilers. I try not to do any more bathrooms and stuff like that now. I just hate the freaking things. They're just a pain in the ass. I don't even like doing my own. But I do them for you know, customers I've had for a long time, under duress. So anyway, if I do some more videos and we do all right, obviously I'll go into things a little bit more about myself and my business and that kind of thing. The reason I thought about doing these videos is I think back to when I started, and like I just mentioned, a guy called Steve, another oil engineer, he helped me. You know, I would have got there on my own eventually, but it would have took me a hell of a lot longer without his help. Like, you know, he was really forthcoming with his information and his knowledge and his experience. So I just thought it'd be a good thing to put some back. So these videos are mine. They're not going to be, I'm not directing them at DIYs or anything like that, because you want to know what you're doing, to be honest. However, watch him. If you can take anything from it, that's brilliant. That's not a problem. I'm kind of aiming these videos really at young lads who are just coming into this industry and wanting to get going. And if I can show a few things along the way that'll help you out, then yeah, I'd be happy at that. Like, so I'm not doing it for fame or for money or anything like that. I don't think you're going to get that in this job, but we all do things slightly differently. You know, I've worked with quite a few different plumbers over the years, and I suppose it's the same in any industry. You give 5 plumbers the same radiator on a white wall and tell them all to put the radiator on the wall, they'll all do it slightly differently, but they'll all look identical when they're done. So we all have our own little tips and tricks, should I say. So if I can put a few of them into the videos as I'm going along, we'll see how we go. But I mainly wanted to get something out there for domestic oil boilers, because it doesn't seem to be an awful lot on YouTube or anything like that. It's mainly all gas boys, which is, it's all right, but I don't do gas. And there'll be a lot of lads like me who live out in the sticks who we only do oil. So yeah, so I'll finish my tea and then we'll go inside and I'll have a quick walk around, show you what this job's going to entail and where I've got to up to now, and then we'll go from there. Right, give you a quick look at what we're going to do. So it's going to be a bit hard for you to understand this, but sorry, no, behind that wall. Bye. Right, so what we're going to do is, this is going to be a big kitchen with an island in the middle there. I'm going to put a radiator over there on that wall. I'm going to put one on that wall behind those ladders. That wall you can see over there with a tap on, I'm going to put the boiler outside there, and we're going to bring the pipes in. And somehow we're going to get them through there, along on that floor, up in that void in that wall. So they're going to go up there. As you can see, we've got a sloped roof there, so we can't get in there. But behind that wall up there, above that door, is the bathroom. So if we just remember that for a second. So we're going to put a radiator under that wall there, and I'm going to put drops. I'm not sure if they're going to come down this side or the other side of the window yet, or even they could come down in the corner and run along underneath to the radiator there. And there's going to be another rad go underneath that window, and then this is like the living room. There'll be a radiator to go underneath there, and then this is like the downstairs hall. So this camera of mine's got a bit of a wide angle on it, hasn't it? So there's going to be a rad go there and over there, 2 little 6x6 singles either side of the front door, and then we get up the stairs. So the bathroom I was mentioning downstairs, where we bang my fucking head then. That corner of that bathroom there is, the other side of that wall is that electric box. So we're going to be coming up somewhere in there. So I've got 4 pipes to bring up there. 2 22s for the flow and return for the heating, and a hot and cold for this bathroom. Now there is an old pump in there, look, and there's another one there that's been pulled out. So what I've done this morning I was a bit late getting here because I had to go to a boiler breakdown before I got here. I've had all these boards up, look. They're the old heating pipes, so I'm ripping all them out. And it comes through to there. We've got a little radiator on that wall there. But that, I'm now going to put the radiator here. So I've got some more boards to take up in the corner. Because if I look back that way, what they're going to do there, they're going to block that doorway up and make a new doorway there. So they can get a bed in here. I can stand back. They're going to put a bed in here, and that alcove bit in the corner there, that's going to be like a big wardrobe type thing. So then we carry on across the landing. This is a bit of a mirror effect of downstairs. 6x6 single's going to go there. Another one over there. It is a big landing. Then in here, this is another bedroom. Again, you can see I've had all the boards up. I'm going to rip these pipes out and replace all the pipes. We're thinking that the rad's going to go there, but there could be a slight change of plan. It could go over there behind the door. They're not 100% sure yet what they want to do. But I've told them I need to know by the morning. And then we come along here, you can see all the boards I've had up. Look. Oops, get the camera in the right spot. So these are all the boards and everything I've had up. We're going to take some drops from here that will go down into the living room where the second living room. And obviously back there in that far bedroom, they're going to drop down from underneath that window down to the dining room below. And then we've another radiator to go on the wall over there. We've got some old pipes under the floor here, look. So I'm going to rip them all out. And with another radiator to go there, there's two in this room. So, I forgot to mention when I was sat in my van, I won't be doing any fancy videography work or anything like that. This is all, everything I film is just going to get filmed on my phone, because it's just easy. And we'll go from there. So, I'm going to start cutting these pipes out, and then we'll see where we get to by the end of the day. Right, this is where we've got to today, because I've had enough now. That rad that's going to go under that window, you see it there, look. I've knocked a small hole in the rope. There's a test hole, so I get my pipes up there okay. I've done the same in that corner, look. Nice to Harry. So we'll get those drops down there, alright. This one that's going to go there, there is some holes already up there. And then this one to go, God, this camera wants a wider angle, like. Got another one to go there, and got a hole up there. Now, this one's a bit of a dilemma because, I mean, take notes of the curtains right, because they'll all be gone. But I wanted to bring the pipes tight down the edge of the windowsill there, so that when they put the right size curtain pole up and the curtains are open, they kind of hide the pipes. But if you look up there, you can see that little dot there. Well, that's where I tried to put the first hole through, but unfortunately there's a beam up there. So the one next to it, that one goes right up the edge of the beam. But it's gonna, I'll have to have a word with them because it's gonna bring the pipes somewhere down here. I think, yeah, about on that join. And I really wanted them a bit tighter, but pardon me, you don't always get what you want, do you? So, all the old pipe I got cut out, which is all piled up down there, look. So, I've got new ends of pipe down there, waiting, so in the morning, get a rad on there, get them end sways, get them joined up. Where I'm stood now, but below that window is the one that we were just looking at, you know, the one on about bringing the drops down. So we've got a rad to go on that wall there. God, I wish this camera was a bit wider lens, but so that's that. So the pipe itself is just laid in. Right, there's another thing. I put a bearer in there, look, between the joists to hold the pipes up, and another one in there. So I've literally just laid some bits of pipe in where we're going to go, and along into here, look, and down there. So if anybody's wondering why I ripped all the old pipe out, well, two reasons really. A lot of the joints had gone on it. You know, you moved one of the pipes a little bit and all of a sudden it would start spinning in the joint. You know, they're very, very old. And the other thing was the 22mm only came up to here somewhere. And I wanted it going all the way down there. So that's why, I mean, you have to remember, don't you, we don't, soldering pipes is not like welding them. We're basically just gluing them. So after 20, 30 odd years, I should imagine how long, I imagine that's about how long they've been in here. All the seasoned boys will know exactly what I mean. When you're changing a really old radiator, you're always very careful, trying not to move the pipes, especially when they're coming out the floor, because they have a habit of spinning in the elbows and then you end up with a leak. So anyway, that's it for today. Bloody lights on this phone. So I'm going to now go home. It's not particularly late, so I better not forget my flask. But as you can see outside, I'm up on the Lincolnshire Wolds where I'm working. I'm not going to say exactly where I am, but if you was to look on the map and see a place called Kelston, I'm about 5 miles from Kelston. And trust me, it's freaking freezing up here. It's been below freezing all day. Although I've not really been particularly cold, if I'm honest. I'm well wrapped up, so. Anyway, we'll see how we get on tomorrow. And then we'll reconvene then. See you later. Right, so, day 2. Yesterday when I was here, I had about 4 hours here yesterday, pulling them old pipes out and pulling the floors up and laying some new ones in. So, what time of day are we on now? It is 3:25. By the time I got the radiators collected this morning and got up here, it's getting on nearly 10 o'clock, I think. So, quick recap where we've got to. Pipes for this radiator on drops, they're up through the roof in the floor already. There's the radiators to go underneath that window. Haven't got it yet, but I've got the pipes there ready up through the ceiling. We've got these 2 radiators here, they're piped up, valved up and everything through the ceiling. Same as that one. Yeah, all soldered up, valves are on. This one, pipes are up, drops are in. I can't hang this radiator or that one at the far end yet because that's dot and dab and there's a big gap behind it, and there is behind this, you can see here, that's the wall, where's my finger, that's the wall there, so we've got this to bridge. So I've ordered some of those core flex or core fix, whatever they're called, fixings. They'll be here tomorrow, but I won't be because I'm servicing tomorrow. I'm finishing a bit earlier today because I've got boiler to go to. So we've a radiator left to hang in here, but we're not sure if it's going to go there or behind the door. There's a couple of drops there, look, that are coming up. They've got to be spun around here. So for the last hour and a half I've just put these other radiators on upstairs, got them all valved up ready. Another set of drops there coming through the floor. And there's another set of drops there coming up through the floor. I've got that one on and it's dressed and everything. I didn't want to be soldering anything for the last sort of hour I was here, which is good practice really, because especially when you're working by yourself like I am and there's nobody else here, you know, you don't want to run the risk of leaving any hot embers anywhere. Not that there would have been on this one, really, to be honest, because get back down here without putting my over tip. That's the only soldering I've done today on these 2 radiators. So I'm soldering against bare plaster, so fire risk is very minimum. Turn that light out. But yeah, it's always a good thing to try and plan your late afternoon a bit and don't do any soldering when you're there for the last hour if you can get away with it. So I might be back here on Friday and then get this radiator hung up, piped up, that one down there hung and piped up, and then start gluing some of that pipe work together upstairs. So it's still bloody cold. It's about -2.5 here all day. But anyway, he'll be alright. Right, we'll finish for today and we'll be back tomorrow. So this is a thing you'll come across fairly often. Well, hopefully not too often. Called out to this oil boiler, which is in the house, not wanting to run. I went into it, press the reset button on the boiler, it tries to go and then goes straight to lockout. Well, actually no, it tries to go twice then goes to lockout. Pulls the jet out of the boiler. Come on, focus you. Didn't we see that? I don't know whether you can or not, but that is all water and sludge and shite on there. So then I've got a little sucker pump in my van, took the hose off the burner, sucked all the oil out, not all of it, just some out into a tub. And you see the line there? Well, the bottom line is all water in the bottom of the tub. So I have to dip in the tank. We have some paste. What you literally put the paste on a stick, dip the tank, and the paste turns bright pink when it comes into contact with water. Bottom 2 inches of the stick come out pink, and that coincides with 2 inches from the floor to the bottom of the outlet on the tank. So there's 2 inches of water in the bottom. So then you come and have a look at the tank. Whether we can see down here, there's a slight crack there. But when you look at this side, look, split all the way down. And then you find this, which is a plastic bag. When I pulled it out before, all the water is shit. So I imagine that was actually stuffed right down like that. I thought it was some kind of fancy mushroom to start with. So I imagine all the water's been going on there and slowly going into the tank. I imagine that's where it's been getting in rather than in here. So get my mate Tom O'Brien to come up here. Tom O'Brien's a lad, has a business local to me, Fuel Tank Solutions. He does all my tank work for me. Real good company, like, you know, reliable and all the rest. So yeah, he wants a new tank, wants the oil line blowing back out from the boiler out here, wants a new pump on the burner, and wants setting up, and then hopefully then we'll be alright. So yeah, if you ever get to an oil burner, or an oil boiler should I say, and the pump's locked up on it and it's knackered, don't just go and put a new pump on. You always want to come out and dip the oil tank before you put a new one on, because if it's got water in the tank like this, you'll put a new fuel pump on and you'll barely get home before they ring you up and say it's stopped again, because it'll just lock up. Needs the oil not only to pump into the boiler, but the pumps use the oil for lubrication as well, so you want to bear that one in mind. Right, off to the next one.